Chosen one, you didn't arrive here by accident. Something unseen guided your steps to this exact moment, because a truth meant specifically for you is ready to surface. This isn't noise, and it isn't motivation for the crowd. This is a signal meant to reach the part of you that has been quietly changing. There is a version of you forming beneath the surface that even you have not fully recognized yet, and when it begins to rise, it will feel unfamiliar, not because you are losing yourself, but because you are finally shedding what was never meant to remain. You felt the shift, not loudly, not all at once, but subtly, in the way certain things no longer satisfy you, in the way old patterns feel heavy instead of comfortable, in the way you've outgrown reactions you once defaulted to. You've noticed that the same fears don't hold the same power, even though the pressure hasn't disappeared. That's because something inside you has been strengthening while you weren't looking. You've been carrying weight that no one sees, fighting internal battles you never speak about, standing strong for others while privately holding yourself together. There were nights when you questioned your own endurance, mornings when getting up felt like an act of courage, moments when you wondered if all the effort was leading anywhere at all. You showed up anyway. You kept going anyway. And that matters more than you realize. There were seasons of isolation that confused you. Times when people drifted, connections faded, doors closed without explanation. Moments when your prayers seemed to hang in the air unanswered. You may have wondered if the struggle meant you were off course. But the truth is, the pressure you felt was never meant to destroy you. It was shaping you. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. There is a reason you could not stay where others were comfortable. A reason familiar environments started to feel restrictive. A reason conversations you once enjoyed began to feel shallow. A reason your spirit craved depth when the world offered distraction. You were outgrowing a former identity, and growth always feels like loss before it feels like expansion. What looked like delay was actually precision. What felt like silence was instruction happening beneath the surface. What seemed like loss was separation from what could not follow you forward. You thought you were being stripped, but you were being refined. Certain layers had to fall away so others could awaken. If everything within you had emerged too early, it would have been mishandled, misunderstood, or misused. Timing was protecting you. You see yourself through the lens of what you've been through. The mistakes, the setbacks, the scars. But that is not the full picture. That is only the current chapter. There are dimensions of you that haven't been revealed yet. Strength that was built quietly, wisdom that was forged through experience, clarity that came from confusion. You are standing in front of a mirror that reflects who you were, not who you are becoming. What you endured was not wasted. Every setback sharpened discernment. Every disappointment refined direction. Every moment you felt unseen strengthened your inner vision. The very things that tried to break you trained you to stand. The things that tried to silence you taught you how to listen more deeply. The things that tried to stop you taught you how to move with purpose instead of impulse. You were never buried to be forgotten. You were planted. And what is planted always looks like it's disappearing before it emerges stronger. The darkness you passed through was not your ending. It was the environment required for transformation. Growth doesn't announce itself. It happens quietly, under pressure, out of sight. And then one day, it breaks through. There is something unfolding now that will make sense only in hindsight. You will look back and realize that every closed door redirected you. Every delay aligned you. Every rejection filtered what could not sustain your next level. What you thought was holding you back was actually holding you together until you were ready. You are not becoming a louder version of who you were. You are becoming a truer one, more grounded, more clear, more steady. The old reactions are losing relevance. The old fears are losing authority. The old limitations are losing credibility. You are stepping into an identity shaped by endurance, not impulse. There will come a moment when even you pause and realize how far you've come. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer the same person who would have been undone by what you now handle with quiet strength. You survived things that were meant to dismantle you. That alone is evidence that something greater has been working through you. The version of you emerging is not defined by survival, but by purpose. Not driven by fear, but by clarity. Not shaped by approval, but by alignment. What once overwhelmed you will no longer control you. What once intimidated you will no longer stop you. What once confused you will soon make sense. This transformation is not random. It is not sudden. It is the result of unseen work done patiently over time. You were being prepared for a level of responsibility, influence, and impact that required depth, not haste. And now what has been forming quietly is beginning to surface. When it does, others may not recognize you, and neither will you at first. But that's not loss. That's arrival. You are stepping into the version of yourself that could only be formed through endurance, honesty, and refinement. The old labels no longer apply. The old limits no longer fit. The old fears no longer lead. This is not the end of your becoming. This is the unveiling of it. And what's rising now carries clarity, strength, and purpose that cannot be undone. What is unfolding now will feel quiet at first, almost subtle. But do not mistake subtle for small. The deepest transformations never announce themselves. They happen beneath the surface, where no applause reaches and no validation is given. This is why you sometimes felt unseen even while becoming stronger. Attention would have interfered with the work being done within you. You were being shaped in private so you could stand in public without losing yourself. There were moments when you questioned your own sensitivity, wondering why you felt things so deeply, why environments affected you more than others, why certain energies drained you while others fueled you. That awareness was not a weakness, it was training. You were learning discernment before you even had language for it. Learning when to stay, when to leave, when to speak, when to remain silent. Those lessons were not optional, they were essential. You've been learning how to stand alone without becoming hardened, how to be misunderstood without becoming bitter, how to wait without becoming resentful. That balance did not come naturally. It was earned, and it will serve you in ways you don't yet understand. The strength you are carrying now is quieter than before, but far more stable. You no longer need to prove who you are. You are learning how to simply be it. There was a time when you would have chased validation, explanations, recognition. You wanted clarity from people who were never meant to understand you. But something shifted. You stopped forcing alignment. You stopped begging for clarity. You stopped shrinking to be accepted. Not out of pride, but out of self-respect. You realized that not everyone needs access to you, and not every door deserves your energy. This is where authority begins, not in control but in self-mastery, not in volume but in presence. You are learning how to move with intention instead of reaction, how to respond instead of explode, how to protect your inner world without building walls that isolate you. That kind of balance only comes from experience, and you have earned it. What lies ahead will require this version of you, not the old one, the one who reacted quickly, the one who doubted themselves constantly, the one who over-explained, overgave, and overextended. That version served its purpose, but it could not carry what is coming next. You needed depth, you needed endurance, you needed discernment. And that is exactly what you were developing when you thought nothing was happening. Soon, situations will arise where you will realize you are responding differently. You will notice that things that once triggered anxiety now meet calm. Conversations that once drained you no longer have power over you. Challenges that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. Not because life got easier, but because you became stronger in ways that cannot be taken from you. You are stepping into a phase where your presence will speak before your words do. People will sense something grounded, something steady, something trustworthy. They may not be able to explain it, but they will feel it, and that presence will open doors that effort alone never could. Influence is not something you chase. It is something you carry when you are aligned. There will be opportunities that surprise you, invitations you didn't expect, moments where you are asked to step forward instead of stay hidden. Do not second-guess those moments. They are not accidents. They are responses to the work that has already been done within you. You are not being pushed forward prematurely. You are being revealed at the right time. You may still feel unready. That is natural. Readiness is not the absence of fear, it is the willingness to move despite it. You are not required to know everything. You are only required to trust what you already carry. And you carry more wisdom than you give yourself credit for. You have learned from pain, from loss, from waiting, from silence. Those lessons are alive within you. There will be people who remember an old version of you and struggle to adjust to who you are now. Let them. You are not responsible for maintaining an image that no longer fits. Growth will always make some people uncomfortable, especially those who benefited from your former self-doubt. You are not here to stay familiar. You are here to be aligned. As you move forward, clarity will continue to sharpen. You will become more selective with your time, your energy, your words. Not because you are closing off, but because you understand the value of focus. You are learning that not everything deserves a response, and not everyone deserves access. This is wisdom, not withdrawal. What you are becoming will not be loud or chaotic. It will be grounded. It will be intentional. It will be impactful without force. You will no longer need to chase meaning because meaning will be evident in how you move, in how you listen, in how you lead when leadership is required, in how you support without losing yourself. There will be moments ahead where you reflect and realize that the things you once prayed to escape were the very things that prepared you, that the waiting taught you patience, that the uncertainty taught you trust, that the loneliness taught you self-awareness, that the pressure taught you resilience. Nothing was wasted. Not one season, not one tear, not one unanswered question. You are entering a time where alignment will matter more than approval, where truth will matter more than comfort, where integrity will matter more than speed. You will be tested in subtle ways, not to see if you can endure pain, but to see if you can remain true to yourself when distractions appear. Stay grounded. You know who you are becoming, even if you cannot fully articulate it yet. The path ahead will not always be clear, but you will be clear within it. And that clarity will guide you more reliably than certainty ever could. Trust the inner steadiness you've developed. Trust the discernment you earned. Trust the quiet confidence that no longer needs external reinforcement. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing anything meant for you. What is unfolding is doing so in a way that protects you, strengthens you, and prepares you to carry what is coming without losing yourself in the process. This is not about becoming someone else. It is about fully inhabiting who you have always been beneath the layers of expectation, fear, and survival. As you continue forward, remember this: the transformation did not happen overnight, and it will not end suddenly. It is a living process, one that will continue to deepen, refine, and expand you. But the foundation has been laid. The inner shift has occurred. The direction is set. You are no longer becoming by accident. You are becoming by alignment. And what emerges from that will be steady, powerful, and unmistakably real.